Okay, at Christmas time, we always had a Christmas tree, and Dad liked tall Christmas trees. And usually we'd cut the top out of it and give it to my cousins south, so they would have a little Christmas tree. But we would string popcorn and cranberries and put them on, and it had tinsels and icicles, and always a cardboard star that hit the ceiling. My first Christmas that I can remember, I got a little red chair and a doll, Mary Ann, and I still have them. And we always hang up our stockings. My growing up was great, and the Days family was a very close family. There was Dad had three brothers, Walter and George, and then his sister Eula, and we were close. Like Walter's lived about 5 miles away, and George is less than a half a mile, and Grandpa and Grandma, which we spent a lot of time with, was just over the hill, about a mile. And so we spent lots and lots of time together. And just growing up, I'll have to tell you, on October the 15th, Bob was born. And I mention this because we were pretty near twin cousins, very close for nearly 92 years, and I don't think we ever had a quarrel. Jean come 11 months younger than Bob, so usually there was the three of us. And we did lots of things together. Not a lot of toys. We played outdoors. And let's see, we started school when we were 6. And I can't remember for sure how we got to school in the mornings, but in the evenings, we'd walk home. And of course, we passed Grandma's place, and we always stopped, and we always got something. It was a cookie or a piece of cake, or the best day was the day she baked bread. She always had something for us. And anyway, I can remember when Marguerite and I would have homework to do, we'd sit at the kitchen, or either the kitchen or the dining room usually, table, and do our homework. And the only lights we had were kerosene lights or a gas lamp or a lantern, and no light fixtures, so if you went from one room to the other, well, you had to carry one of these lights with us. And you didn't dare touch one of the mantles on the gas light, or you didn't have any gas lights, so on. As far as pets, I can't remember. The folks did have a white bulldog, and of course they milked cows and so on. And they had chickens. But mostly we just played around and so on until we were 2 or 3. When Bob was 2, he pulled a gallon of boiling lard grease over on the top of him. He carried those scars all his life. But anyway, he took so much care that the folks took Jean to live with them. And I guess Jean was with us several months because they said that Jean and I would sit behind this Topsy stove, and I taught him to talk. But that's all hearsay. I don't remember that. But I do know that Bob really, really had a bad burn. They had just butchered it, and they were rendering this lard on the hot stove, and they'd set it on the table. And Bob was about 2, I imagine, and pulled this over on top of him. Okay, we get back to school and to Grandma's. When I was in the 2nd grade, I had a appendicitis operation. I come home from school one night and crying, I can remember, because my side hurt. And we went to town that very evening and saw Dr. Renner. And I suppose we stayed all night in town at Grandma Albertson's. That's Mother's mother. We stayed all night there. And Dad might have went home, but he was there because I wasn't going in that hospital without him. So he said, well, he'd go in with me. Well, he did, and he stayed there till I went out. And I can remember looking up and seeing him pouring this red stuff all over me. And I could hear the doctors say, move that light. And so they had some kind of lights, I don't know what. So I guess Dad stayed with me till I passed out. Anyway, I was in the hospital 4 days, and then Mother and I stayed at Grandma's. And, of course, she was worried all the time, Grandma was. And when she went downtown on the 5th day, I talked Mother into letting me walk out to the dining room. Well, Grandma came home and saw me there. And, oh, she really gave it to Mother and to me that I walked out there. So when the doctor come the next day to check on me, why, that's the first thing Grandma said. She walked out there and she was still upset about it. Dr. Renner said, well, I'll tell you what, there was a man that was operated on in the hospital, and he got up and walked the very day he was operated on, and it didn't hurt him any. So we stayed in town a good week. The doctor would come down about every other day, and why, I don't know, because I was tired of staying in that bed. And I had an uncle that was about 3 years older than I was. So he'd sit on the foot of the bed and we'd play games, and every once in a while Grandma would say, you get up there and lay down, you get up there and lay down. Let's see what else happened that year. I have to think.